Welcome to presentation on Infosys. Let's examine, is buyback as an exceptional tool really helping Infosys? TCS has been the preferred leader in the segment for over 15 years. But for the last 5 years, Infosys has managed to narrow down the gap between the two. TCS 19% 5 years growth rate is matched by 18% of Infi. Really a good news. Achieving a growth of 86% over a period of 12 months with consistent growth almost every month of the year is testimony to the capability of a strong company like Infosys. As compared to the immediate past, 2017-18, 18-19 and 19-20, the current year stands out with growth in every quarter successively and sizable growth at that, quarter on quarter, and at an overall annual level the growth is almost 20%, and that is quite significant for a company of Infosys size. The unique thing about Infosys is its income is not growing at a higher rate, but its operational generation is quite substantial and improving faster. But the worrisome thing about Infosys is it is not investing enough as plowback into its net worth. Paying dividend and going for buyback can only satisfy the present, but it will hurt the future. Surprisingly, the market has favored the company. Between 1920 and 2021, the prices have almost doubled from 642 to 1368. But the fact remains, investing into future alone can take the company forward and keep its leadership intact. One great thing about Infosys is its promoters, who hold only 13% of the share capital, have got total support of institutional investors for the simple reason they have got unquestionable professional standards, highest level of corporate governance, and fairness and transparency in whatever they do, and that has really made the company stronger year after year, crisis after crisis. Buyback is very simple. Promoters have confidence in the project, but the market price is low. To boost the price, they use company's money, purchase shares and extinguish them, so that in the short run the market price is under control. The company will have surplus cash with no project ideas with it. Such cash is used for acquisition of shares in the market in the form of buyback. And this helps those people who want to exit the market when the prices are low and the transactions are thin. Companies always indicate a maximum price for acquisition, but actually when the transaction is through, the prices will be below the maximum price range for the simple reason there will be multiple transactions and multiple lots done over a longer period of time, and the average will be less than the originally targeted price. Buyback involves taking away money from the net worth of the company and investing in its own shares. This cannot be better than investing in a project of technological improvement and innovation. Organic or inorganic growth is hurt because of diversion of funds under buyback, and that way any company that does buyback will be satisfying its present requirements at the cost of the future. For a growing company, buyback is not the right solution. Buyback at Infosys has been an alternative for lack of business ideas for investment in future. If you see the regime of Mr. Shibulal up to July 2014, the period was an uneventful period, but the prices were hovering and they were on the lower side. Then enters Mr. Sikka, and during his regime the focus is on innovation, technological product offerings, and also inorganic growth in a big way. And the breaking point was the acquisition of Panaya at $200 million. On his exit comes the interim regime, and there is a proposal of buyback. And here the buyback is more of a cautious balancing between industriousness and conservatism. And incidentally, this buyback helped the company to buy shares at a price lower than its price after the closure, and that was a success. Then comes the regime of Mr. Salil Parekh. The prices have been moving up, and he also proposes a buyback in 2019, and the very principle of buying low is going for a toss here. The company buys at a price of 747, after which the price collapses. Subsequent to that was the whistleblower episode which brought down the price, and the COVID fears which brought it down to 509, the lowest. But the recovery has been faster, and it has almost doubled from the lowest level of the price. Then the company comes out with one more idea of buyback, reconfirming that they have no investment proposals for the growth of the company, therefore returning the cash to shareholders. Points to note: 1, we are making a buyback at the lifetime high price of a company, and we expect the price to further go up. Number 2, the COVID wave number 2 might not facilitate this upward movement, and in the process the company might end up buying at a price which is not in favor of the company. And in a period where the net worth is not getting enough blowback, the whole issue of buyback of shares might be counterproductive for the company. The channel of Infosys is ascending, no doubt, but the price is heading towards the lower end of the ascending channel. That is a matter of concern. The daily chart of Infosys is quite bearish. The prices have moved below 20 EMA and then 50 EMA. Stochastic RSI in the oversold zone, not showing any signs of recovery, nor MACD moving away from its downward movement along with the OBV. It is not positive for the time being. Price action data, turnover and price both moving downwards along with the size of order, suggesting the movement is bearish, and even the delivery percentage fall suggests going along with the bearish move. Noting that Infosys had its 52-week high in the month of April itself, the current retracement level comes to around 82.9%. Whatever the gap is there at the top might not be realizable in the short run. Option chain for the month of April doesn't have any major surprises. Support at 1300 and resistance at 1360, and there is a built up at 1400, and on a assessment of pain gain point, the settlement is likely to be at 1360 and below. Infosys, a great company, a company built on strong morals and business values, transparency and corporate governance, its main strong points. Darling of FIIs, DIIs and MFs for its positive quality and consistent performance. And it has got a lot of achievements during its performance over decades. Its weakness is not having enough scope for innovative and technological priorities. In a fight of buyback and plowback, company's future is likely to be endangered, and it is required that the company should adopt a futuristic approach of investing and reinvesting in business ideas rather than returning the cash. Hope you found the video useful. Similar videos you can find at the info point on stock learning, and we look forward to your views, likes, shares and comments. New visitors may please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to get periodic intimation on resourceful videos. Thank you so much for your attention, time and support. Thanks a lot. Disclaimer: this video is purely for information, education and awareness. This is not a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell or hold securities. Please seek competent professional advice wherever necessary.